This is Rams basketball on the CIU Sports Network. Glad to have you with us on this Wednesday evening for AAC women's action with Columbia International playing host to the Milligan Buffaloes. Number one, Kay Crenshaw alongside former Ram Tucker Chapman. And Tucker, tonight, one of the biggest storylines that came down to a game-time decision was the Buffalo star, and J.C. Jenkins, one of the top players this conference has to offer, averaging 25 points a game, and who had 34 the last time these two teams met a year ago, out tonight with a bone bruise.
Yeah, man, J.C. being out's kind of going to affect Milligan as they go out today. J.C. beating out Zion Neat for Freshman of the Year last year in the conference, so her being out is going to be big for the Rams today.
Those two went neck and neck down the stretch a season ago and finished 1-2 in the Freshman of the Year conversation. It'll be Rams basketball to get things underway as Kanaya Watkins, Zion Neat, Jordan McQueen, Hannah Trawick, and Madison Hatcher, the true freshman, who leads this squad with 12.5 points a game, round out the starting five. Neat looking to drive into the paint. She goes off the window for the early bucket. Full court pressure applied from Danielle Fleming's squad. That is standard for them. But the Buffaloes able to break it early. On the other end, Griffith's shot off the mark. Trawick, the defensive rebound for Columbia International. Here's Hatcher, three ball up, three ball down. Columbia International up an early 5 points ahead of Milligan. Just underway here in the first quarter. However, it's Longmire able to respond. We talk about the play of J.C. Jenkins last year as a freshman. Lauren Longmire is a true freshman as well, is excelling incredibly well, averaging a little over 7 points a game. She just had 23 in the last exhibition at Alabama Huntsville.
Zion with the and one bucket.
Neat an opportunity at the three-point play. Erin Larkin picking up her first personal. And Milligan's first team foul.
Neat's been pretty consistent from the free throw line this year, shooting about 63%.
Neat, an early 4 of the Rams' 7 points, and add one more to that. Columbia International up 8-2 ahead of Milligan, and Zion Neat leading the way with 5 of those 8. Romines looking to break the press. Able to cross midcourt into the hands of Longmire. Buffaloes, the first time they've had a chance to really set their offense, and they come up short with Trawick getting the steal. Rams in transition. McQueen, spin move from the post. Not there. Poked out of bounds. It'll be Buffaloes basketball.
Full court press looking to be pretty effective for the Rams today.
That has been a staple thus far in the early career of Danielle Fleming, just in her second season here in Columbia. The Rams love to apply defensive physicality, and that's going to be the same message here today as they look to get back to 500 in conference play.
The thing I've noticed watching CIU play this year is that with the full court press, it's transitioned into a lot of open threes for the Rams, which have shot pretty well from the three-point line this year.
Watkins working up middle of the floor. Here's Neat for a wide open three-pointer, just rattling out. Columbia International shooting 75% from the floor thus far here in the first quarter. Three-pointer here from Romines. Off the back iron, but she's able to snag her own offensive rebound. Back inside to Padgett. She goes off the window for the first time today. Hallie Padgett talking to the coaches earlier this week, and head coach Kylie Russell-Greer. Padgett, one of those true post players that provides such a presence on the interior.
Absolutely, she does.
McQueen working around the left side. Back out to Watkins. She looks for a turnaround jumper. She knocks it down. Columbia International up 10-4 with 7:05 to play here in the first quarter. Kanaya Watkins notches her first bucket of the night. Hatcher and Patrick initially getting tangled up, but here on the other end is Griffith.
Right there, one of those situations where the aggressiveness tends to bite you.
6:45 left in this opening quarter, and for the first time today, we see Columbia International's offense take a much slower pace, but it's too slow. Kanaya Watkins whistled for the 10-second violation, not crossing midcourt in time. There are good things and good benefits to slowing down your offense, but when you have disruptive penalties like that, it's going to cost you.
Absolutely it is.
A host of new Rams on the floor, a fresh 5 out there. It starts with Kunika Howard, rounding out with Madison Ferrara, Larissa Lee, Zani Thompson, and Tania Heston, the Division I transfer from Oakland. Looking underneath to Paget yet again, working around Thompson. She gets the bucket, and she'll go to the stripe.
Looking like the way Paget's playing, looking like she's stepping in, taking the role of J.C. Jenkins today.
Haley Paget, the senior from Unicoi, Tennessee. 4 straight double-digit performances for her coming into tonight. And with that free throw, she already has 5 in this opening quarter. Buffaloes, who at one point trailed by as much as 6 in the early minutes of this game, are now back within 1 of Columbia International. Larissa Lee, pull-up three-pointer off the right side. Loose rebound that Heston went after, couldn't quite corral as Maddie Runnels works up the left side of the floor. Underneath, once again to Paget, and there she's double-teamed, nearly has it stripped. Runnels, though, yet another chance at a three-point play. Back-to-back possessions for Milligan with a chance at an and-one opportunity as Zani Thompson picks up a quick 2 personal fouls. Hannah Traywitt will have to return to action. A pair of substitutions as well for Milligan. 1 substitution in there for Milligan as Haley Paget steps aside. We see Stacia Wilson get her first minutes here tonight. Reynolds at the line, shooting just 20% this season, but she knocks down the only attempt she gets to complete the three-point play and give Milligan their first lead of the night. 12-10 Buffaloes, under 6 to play in this first quarter. Ferrara working around the screen from Traywick. Back out to Heston. The Rams have 11 to shoot. Howard with 5. Pull-up three-pointer for Quinnica. Too strong off the front iron. Rebound by Runnels. The Rams offense not clicking as well as it once did to open up this ball game. Wilson shot too strong from underneath. Buffaloes will get a fresh 20. 5:10 left in this opening quarter. Runnels kick out pass. Now a wide open three-pointer from Carter. Knocks it down. Taylor Carter, the Knoxville native, extends Milligan's early lead to 15-10. Heston looking to drive in the paint. Her layup is off the mark. Milligan on an 11-0 run. The last 2 minutes, Runnels makes it a 13-point run. 17-10. Milligan on top. Milligan with their typical man-to-man pressure. Traywick trying to find an open teammate. She provides a screen to Ferrara, who knocks down the trifecta. 4:09 left in this first quarter, and Madison Ferrara makes this game a little bit more interesting. Rams back within 4 with 4 to go in the first. Whistles on the other end. Looked to be some contact on Maddie Runnels, but not before she traveled. First turnover of the ball game for the Buffaloes.
Big time 3 there by Ferrara. Shift a little bit of momentum back in the direction of the Rams.
Madison Hatcher, Zion Neat back to action for Columbia International as Alyssa Lee and Traywick head to the sidelines. Neat with an early 5 points earlier on in this half. She drives and somehow gets that bucket to go. The rhythm is in motion for Zion Neat today with 7 of the Rams' 15 points. Pass over the head of Lily Griffith. Out of bounds, it'll be Rams basketball. 3:39 left in this opening quarter. Columbia International, who started out this game up 10-2, is now down by a bucket. Milligan leading 17-15. Hatcher kicks back to Heston, top of the key. Around to Zion Neat screen, she drives. Shot up off the mark, but she heads to the stripe for two. Stacia Wilson picking up her first personal foul. That puts Heston at the line. One of the best three-point shooters the Rams have. 84% from the charity stripe this season. She knocks down her first. A big part of Heston's 19 points against Columbia was going 9 of 10 from the stripe this past weekend. Here tonight, she starts out 2 for 2. Tied game at 17. Just over 3 minutes to go. Runnels lifting the three off the mark. Rebound saved by Hatcher, and Ferrara works in transition. Here's Neat from the left side. You betcha. 3:04 left in this first quarter, and Zion Neat with another chance at a three-point play. A 7-0 run for the Columbia International Rams as they have reclaimed their lead, 19-17 here in this first quarter. Neat with a chance to hit double figures here in this first quarter. One free throw in the air and through the net. 3:04 in this opening quarter. Rams lead it by 3. Carter working against Heston up the left side of the floor. That's point guard on point guard. Back over to Griffin along the right side. Nearly poked away by Hatcher. But Carter's able to recover. Back inside to Paget. Runnels swings it back out to Carter for a three. Just short. Her own offensive rebound, put back, not there. Zion Neat crashing the board. Hatcher, wide open lay-in for Madison Hatcher. And Columbia International, after being on the wrong end of an 11-0 run by Milligan, the Rams have pieced together a 10-0 run of their own. Quinnica Howard getting the steal and somehow keeping her dribble alive. Here's Heston from the low post. Whistles blow for the contact. She heads to the line for 2. Maddie Runnels picking up her first personal foul. Milligan's 4th team foul. As Madison Ferrara heads to the sidelines, Jordan McQueen returns to action for Columbia International. Meanwhile, Aaron Larkin is back onto the floor for Milligan. First free throw rattling out for Tania Heston as that shot nearly kissed every inch of the rim before falling out. Heston's second shot's left short. She's now 2 for 4 from the stripe tonight. Rams up by 5 with 2 minutes to play in this opening quarter. A back and forth contest thus far. Milligan looking for their first points in nearly 3 minutes. A foul on the transfer as Madison Hatcher's going to pick up her first personal. A little too much pushing inside the paint as she went for that deflection. Watkins will check in for Heston, and Columbia International, meanwhile, Runnels steps aside as Lauren Longmire returns to the floor for the Buffaloes. Longmire into the corner. Griffith from downtown. 1:43 in this opening quarter. Rams still up by 2. Hatcher looking to respond, just off the mark. Neat though, the offensive board, clear out, and the bucket. 90 seconds left. The Rams have extended their lead to 4 points. Close contest on both sides. Paget breaks through the backside of the defense and is able to find the back of the glass. Milligan back within 2. These two teams battled it out a year ago in the opening round of the AAC tournament, and that's where we saw Columbia International get that 93-78 victory that marked the first ever tournament win in school history. And it's reasons like that where they might be on their way to a win tonight. Big three-pointer from Quinnica Howard pushes the lead back to 5. Under a minute to play now in this opening quarter. Longmire looking to respond, and she has a chance at 3. Jordan McQueen picking up her first personal. The Rams' fourth team foul in this opening quarter. With 43 seconds left, Lauren Longmire, the freshman from Rutledge, Tennessee, steps to the line. 77% shooter this season from the stripe, and she completes the three-point play. A 2-point lead for Columbia International. 13-second differential between shot clock and game clock as Watkins stands at the straightaway. Working on the man-to-man defense, Watkins looks to drive on Longmire. Right-handed layup off the mark. Rebound cleared out by Larkin. On the other end, here's Griffith from three. Too strong. Rebound poked loose, and Neat came away with it. Shot clock has been turned off, 15 to play. Into the corner, Hatcher from downtown, you betcha! 30 to 25, Columbia International on top. 2 seconds to shoot. I don't believe Romines realized it, and Milligan will not get a last shot off. What an exciting first quarter here in the Moore Fitness Center. Rams lead it by 5.
Yeah, man. One heck of a first quarter right there. Both teams just not willing to go down at this point. CIU looking for their 4th straight win in the series, and it looks like they want it. And it's like in the back of Milligan's head, trying to not make it a 4-peat.
We'll see how the second quarter matches up when we return to Columbia on the CIU Sports Network. Back inside the Moore Fitness Center. What an exciting first quarter we had, Tucker. A back-and-forth contest where Columbia International put up 30 first quarter points. That nearly matches half of their game total from the win over Columbia earlier this week where they won 64-62.
Yeah, man, I think seeing Zion Neat in double digits always helps our offense. When she's having a game, we tend to just honestly just be a better team.
Referees whistling, I believe, to start the shot clock. Should be 26 seconds now with 4 gone by in this second quarter. Indeed, now the clock operator has it correct. Rams up by 5. And a big part of that first quarter success, like you mentioned, Tucker, was the play of Zion Neat. 5 of 6 from the field. She leads all scorers with 12. Underneath to Paget, who's Milligan's top scorer with 7. Now into the corner, here's Romines. Underneath to Paget again, defended by Neat. But Paget wins the battle. End and around layup for Haley Paget now with 9 points. 1 away from double figures. Watkins the spin. Layup off the mark. And possibly a frustration foul for Watkins off the missed shot from close range. That'll be her first personal as she heads to the sidelines. Tania Heston returns to the hardwood for Columbia International.
Like we said, fouls going both ways. It seems to be a pretty intense game. Both teams have a lot on the line right here, I feel like.
You're exactly right. When we look back, these two teams meeting a year ago in the opening round of the AAC tournament. Columbia International got that win as Paget reaches double digits tonight with that bucket. She has 11. But for Columbia International, this is a group that is hungry to get another tournament win, but first they have to get there, and that means finishing in the top half of the conference, and they would love to host yet again. But if you do that, you have to be in the top 6 seeds.
One thing we can say about more fitness centers, if you get to host something, there is a home crowd advantage for an NAIA school.
Most definitely so. You look at how Rams Nation, as they're called, has responded in recent years to the success of both the women's and men's programs. Oh, much of that can be said through their attendance and their energy. Loose ball on the ground that Hatcher comes up with. Heston back up top to Hatcher. And she sinks it from the top of the key. Madison Hatcher now with 11 points. That's 2 Rams in double figures as she joins Zion Neat's company. 8.5 left in this second quarter. Paget underneath. You want to talk about a key to the car. Haley Paget is driving the Milligan bus thus far with 13 of their 31 points.
Early on, Haley Paget is having a day, to say the least. Stepping up for J.C. Jenkins being out. Someone's got to do it, and she seems to be the one that's putting the workload on right now.
Jenkins, one of the front runners for a potential Conference Player of the Year candidate with 25 points a game. Jenkins, just a sophomore, out tonight with a bone bruise. Talking with head coach Kylie Russell-Greer earlier this week, she said that Paget would be a key figure in making up for that loss, but like she said, there's no real figure, not only on Milligan's team, but in the entire AAC that can fill the shoes exactly of J.C. Jenkins. But so far, with 13 points on 6 of 7 shooting, Haley Paget's doing best job she can.
Yeah. Haley Paget has definitely stepped up to fill those shoes the best that she can, just like you said. Hate to see it. We love to see good players come into Moore Fitness Center to match up with people like Zion Neat and Tania Heston.
Hatcher heads to the sidelines as Brittany Brown sees her first minutes today for Columbia International. Just a 2-point game here in Columbia. Griffith, the layup to tie was too strong as Trawick will corral the rebound. On the other end, Heston pump fake. Now a beautiful spin move as she drops in the bucket. Tania Heston just with 4 points, but she's made that presence on the court be felt in a myriad of different ways as her defense forces that turnover.
Agreed. Tania Heston, when she's on the floor, there's just a presence she carries herself with that, like we said, she is a Division I transfer, and in a way she does carry herself as such.
The Hilliard, Ohio native Heston, averaging a little over 11 points a game, commands this offense at the top of the key. Coming up on 7 minutes left in this opening half. Still a close one. Rams up by 4. McQueen from downtown. Off the back iron. Rebound by Longmire. Buffaloes charging as Longmire looked to go coast to coast. A spin move of her own this time, and she will drop in the bucket. 6:45 left. Buffaloes back within 2. A physical drive to the basket results in contact as Lily Griffith will pick up her first personal and the first team foul for Milligan here in this second quarter. As Griffith heads to the sidelines along with Aaron Larkin, we see both Maddie Runnels and Stacia Wilson return to the floor. Meanwhile, across the way, Zion Neat exits with 12 points. Madison Ferrara returns to the hardwood for Columbia International. McQueen will sink the first free throw.
Interesting enough, McQueen stepping to the line, shooting 100%, 4 for 4 on the year after that one from the free throw line.
A perfect 4 for 4 on the season from Jordan McQueen, one of the senior leaders for this Rams squad that I know head coach Danielle Fleming is counting on to have a big game tonight. And what would be a big-time upset win over Milligan, who currently sits atop the AAC conference standings with a perfect 7-0 start to conference play. Paget from downtown, too strong. Contact and physicality on the rebound from Ferrara. She's whistled for the personal. That's her first. Rams' second team foul. And she knocked Wilson to the ground as they both crashed the boards. It'll be Milligan basketball underneath their own hoop. Inside to Paget, who's now drawing the double team, which is no surprise when you have 13 points. Like from Kaylee Paget, she's going to draw some extra attention from Rams defenders. And now Heston will get another shot at the cherry stripe. This will be her third trip. Keep in mind, we're just 4 minutes into the second quarter.
Again, the whistles have been blown constantly today. I think both teams realize there's a bunch on the line today. Milligan trying to hold their perfect conference record, with CIU trying to pull off the upset to climb up in those standings a little bit.
Heston now 2 of 5 from the stripe tonight. Came into this ball game hitting 84% from the charity stripe this season. Second chance opportunity will pinball in. Columbia International up by 5 with 6 minutes to play until halftime. Rams looking to play spoiler to the perfect conference start for Milligan at 7-0. Runnels, a long two-pointer, will fall. 5:40 left in this second quarter. Milligan's back within 3. Running jumper for Heston, just off the mark, as Kaylee Paget brings down her 3rd rebound. Runnels breaks through a double team, bounce pass to Wilson, who loses her dribble, and it's McQueen, who has someone fall on top of her and still able to get it to a teammate. McQueen wants it. She's feeling it. Just off the mark, though, from the top of the key.
Brittany Brown's one of those players that I feel doesn't get enough recognition, and all-star on defense.
One of the defensive playmakers for the Rams thus far. We see her guarding Lauren Longmire at the top of the key, another star freshman for Milligan's group. But so far the story today has been Haley Paget, a game-high 15 points for the senior. That now matches her career high and her season high set earlier this year at Truett McConnell. Brown from the left side looking to get it done offensively. Off the front iron, rebound snagged by Wilson. 4.5 to play here in the opening half. Paget, top of the key. Looking to drive from the free throw line. Indeed she does. Paget now with 17 points. Timeout, Columbia International. 4:16 left in this second quarter. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here. Milligan back on top by 1. What an incredible night from Haley Paget. 17 points as Milligan has pieced together a 6-0 run over the last minute and a half.
Like we said, the Rams are going to have to figure out something to do with Haley Paget today. If not, she's looking like she's going to go for a career night, as if she already kind of has.
It is a new career high for Haley Paget with 17 points. But those 2 early fouls on Zani Thompson, one of the 2 key post players for the Rams, has been critical here as of late, because we see Paget constantly attacking the boards, and she's just been battling against Hannah Trawick, and she's been winning that battle. Talking with head coach Danielle Fleming just before tip-off, she said that Trawick wasn't feeling her best as this weather starts to get colder in the Carolinas. That could be possibly affecting Trawick's defensive physicality. But early on, Paget, not sure if she knows that, but she's surely taking advantage.
She has definitely taken advantage of that.
Neat working around a pair of screens, and somehow she gets the layup to fall. A spin move that really put Neat right along the baseline. But now we see a referee's whistle blow, yet another shot clock malfunction. Taking now 2 seconds off of it. It'll be 28 to shoot for Milligan with 3:54 to play here in the second quarter. Rams back up by 1. A back and forth contest thus far between these 2 teams who have brought the intensity to the Moore Fitness Center tonight.
Yeah, Zion needed the point to where she's just not being denied, doing anything she can to get the buckets she needs.
Right side three-pointer from Griffith. She knocks it down. Milligan back up 42-40 with under 3.5 to play here in the second quarter. Trawick the hook shot off the mark. Longmire will clear out the rebound for Milligan. On the other end, here's Wilson, who gets fouled hard. She gets 2 shots at the line as Madison Hatcher will be whistled for her second personal foul and the 3rd team foul for Columbia International. Hatcher will exit, picking up her second personal as Jordan McQueen returns to action.
For freshman, Maddie Hatcher has an incredible court presence, I would have to say.
She has 11 points. That's second best for the Rams, only to Neat's 14. Sasha Wilson's first free throw will pinball out. Wilson, a 52% shooter this season. A junior from Rome Mountain, Tennessee. Looking to extend Milligan's lead, currently by 2, and that's where it'll stay as she goes 0 for 2 from the stripe, but the rebound goes through the legs of the Rams' Quinnica Howard, and now we see Wilson wide open underneath. While she doesn't connect on the 2 free throws, she still comes away with 2 points.
Absolutely. That's one of those things right there in a game like this you just kind of can't let happen. Kind of got the momentum trending towards the Rams, missed 2 free throws, and then just give up an easy 2 right there.
Neat looking to stop the momentum train. She won't do it on that shot. And head coach Kylie Russell-Greer of Milligan already sees the opportunity to extend the lead, but that layup won't do it, but the potential to extend the momentum as we see Haley Padgett step back to the scores table, soon to return to action. Tanika Howard's jump shot well off the mark. Rebound will go out of bounds, and possession goes to Milligan. Padgett back to the floor as Longmire exits. Meanwhile, Trawick heads to the sideline. Madison Ferrara returning for Columbia International. 2:29 left in this second period. Rams trailing it by 4. Across the timeline, Griffith up the left side. Along the wing, she looked at the three, instead gives it to a wide open Runnels in the corner. She got it. 47-40, Milligan now with their largest lead of the night, up by 7 with just right at 2 minutes left in the first half. Heston looking to crash the offensive boards. She's fouled after trying to go for the second chance opportunity. As Maddie Runnels picks up her second personal, she exits the ball game. And Erin Larkin returns to the floor. Quick inbounds to Zion Neat. Still in the air. She lets the bucket fly. Columbia International back within 5. As Neat has 16 points. Larkin for the reversal. Off the mark. Padgett, though, the offensive board. Put back. Not there for the second chance point. However, she somehow battles through yet another rebound, and the Rams come away with it on the steal. Back out to Howard. She had the arc open, instead goes to McQueen. Top of the key three, just off the mark. It's Carter who clears out the rebound. Just over a minute to play in this first half, and what an exciting one it's been. Milligan up by 5 in this neck-and-neck to contest, in this back-and-forth contest. Top of the key, Griffith three-pointer too strong. Rebound by Howard. Just 60 seconds left here in the first half. Can Columbia International battle back? Not with a turnover. Howard whistled for the carry. Wilson and Griffith step aside for Milligan, as Romines and Longmire return to action. Meanwhile, just one substitution for Columbia International. It's Watkins back in for Tania Heston. 55 seconds left in this second quarter. Milligan up by 5, trying to take a lead into the locker rooms, which would be tremendous considering they started out this game on the wrong end of a 10-2 start for Columbia International. Foul underneath on Jordan McQueen. That'll be her second personal. Rams' 5th team foul, and that puts Haley Padgett at the line. 1 for 1 from the stripe tonight. Padgett leads all scorers with 17 points, and now make it 18. Padgett, the Unicoi, Tennessee native, shooting 65% from the stripe coming into tonight. With that second free throw, she's now 3 for 3 on the evening, and leads all scorers with 19. Milligan up by 7. 35 seconds left. A 10-second differential between shot clock and game clock. Neat driving with the left hand, a late whistle. She'll get 2 at the stripe.
Gotta think we gotta see the Rams send a different package at Haley Padgett at some point.
I'm sure that'll be a big point of emphasis there at halftime, because out of Milligan's 49 points, Haley Padgett has 19 of them. It's been a very balanced offensive attack, both sides, with multiple scores outside of one shining star. When we talk about Milligan, it's been Padgett. For Columbia International, meanwhile, it's been Zion Neat. With that last free throw, she now has 17 points. Just 10 shy of her career high. Second free throw good for her. Zion Neat now a perfect 3 for 3 from the stripe this evening. Shot clock turned off with 28 seconds left in the half. Pass nearly gets away from Romines. She's able to recover. Now the double team, forcing the turnover, and Ferrara will get the steal. 15 to play. Underneath to McQueen. Just away from her, out of bounds. The Rams trying to go with that extra pass in transition that nearly cost them a bucket. that did indeed cost them a bucket. 13 seconds left here in this second quarter. Rams within 5. Milligan, 5 to shoot. Larkin driving coast to coast, off the mark. Paget, the offensive board, put back, and give her a shot at yet another three-point play. Boy, this first half is almost over, but the day is definitely not done for Haley Paget now with 21 points here in the first half.
Absolutely. Haley Paget, like we said, having an absolute day today. Stepping up in the role of a superstar that's missing.
Howard, the full court heave, off the mark. Here at halftime, Milligan leads Columbia International 52-44, and the name of the game thus far has been the battle of Haley Paget and Zion Neat. For Paget, 9 of 14 shooting, she leads all scorers with 22 points for Milligan at the half. Meanwhile, Zion Neat leads the Rams with 18. If you're Rams head coach Danielle Fleming, what do you do and what do you tell your team here at halftime to try to stop Paget's force on the interior?
I'd be running in fresh legs and just telling them to front Paget. Don't let her get in front of you. Try to take away any opportunity she has to get in a basket because she is feeling herself tonight. Has the hot hand, to say the least.
Milligan up by 8 at the break. We'll take a small commercial break and be back with you momentarily. We'll speak with Rams head coach Danielle Fleming. We return inside the Moore Fitness Center for halftime coverage of Rams basketball on the CIU Sports Network. Back here inside the Moore Fitness Center, now joined by Rams head coach Danielle Fleming. Coach, you're down by 6 at the break. A back-and-forth game. Yeah. You saw a lot of offensive sparks from your team, also some defensive physicality as well.
Yeah, 43, I knew she was going to be a problem coming in. She's a big. I think Hannah's doing a decent job on her. We got to add more pressure to our guards. They're just throwing it in there, no pressure on that. So that's what we're going to talk about at half, seeing we can apply more pressure. I like how Zion's playing. She's playing amazing. We got to get some other people involved here.
Haley Paget with a game-high 21 points. What can you do to possibly contain her on the interior?
Yeah, well, we have to put a body on her. She's getting offensive rebounds, putting it back up. The 50-50 balls are going her way. And when she gets it in there and she seals us, it's bad. So we can't allow her to pin us in there. And that's what we're going to talk about at half, just making sure we contain her and add a little bit more physicality to her.
Coach, offensively, 44 points and a half is always a good thing to have. How do you hope to parlay some of that success across the final two frames?
I would like to spread more wealth. I want Zion to keep doing what she's doing. I think Zion has 18, Hatcher has 11, but we got to get our other guards going, maybe even get it inside to Hannah a little bit, see if we can draw a little fouls on 43. I think that's going to be more of the plan inside.
Coach, best of luck.
Thank you.
That takes us into halftime here inside the Moore Fitness Center with Columbia International trailing Milligan 52-44. Don't this is just getting exciting. And just the battle thus far of Haley Paget with 21, Zion Neat with 17. Those two have been lighting up the scorebook, but how will the final two quarters play out? We'll find out when we return for more second half action of Rams basketball on the CIU Sports Network. Back for second half action in the Moore Fitness Center here in Columbia. Glad to have you with us on the CIU Sports Network. Kay Crenshaw alongside Tucker Chapman. And Tucker, we thought going into this evening's game, if you had told Milligan fans that they were going to be without J.C. Jenkins, their star player, who's in contention for potential Player of the Year honors, of course, looking ahead to the end of the season, Jenkins averaging 25 points a game. Here tonight, she is out of action with a bone bruise. So you look who could step up with a name, and the answer has been Haley Padgett with 22 points.
I think it's cool to see that talent is on every team, but every now and then you just have a player that's having such a year like Jenkins is that some players just don't score like they should. Padgett showing that she is an elite scorer tonight.
Padgett 9 of 14 from the field. We mentioned 22 points. That's 4 shy of her career high from 2 years ago. Back in 2019, she had 26 in a non-conference matchup with Allen, once again in the 2019-2020 season. Rams going with Hatcher, Neat, Watkins, Trawick, and McQueen to start this second half. Meanwhile, Milligan starting with Romines, Longmire, Carter, Larkin, and, of course, Padgett. Over the top to Neat. She's liking that quick shot on the inbounds to knock it down. Zion Neat, we talk about Padgett all we want, but Neat with 18 points, now 20, has had a remarkable night.
Yeah, we see Zion do that often, have quiet 25-point games.
McQueen
Tonight's
poking away with a steal, coming in with it. Now it's in the hands of Watkins at the top of the key. Rams looking to battle back, down by 6. Trawick, the turnaround, a hook shot. Back within 4 is Columbia International. Just under a minute gone by here in the third quarter. And Watkins going for the steal, results in a jump ball with possession arrow pointing the way of Milligan. Boy, early on thus far, only 55 seconds gone by, but the second half looks to prove just as exciting as the first 2 quarters.
Yeah, it seems the coach has got both teams pretty riled up. Probably just emphasized how important this game is for both sides. Milligan trying to stay 7-0. The Rams trying to get a huge conference win here tonight in Moore Fitness Center.
Attacking the interior and heavily defending, Haley Padgett results in yet another jump ball. This time will go the way of Columbia International, of course, but that's something, that's a change at least we're seeing here in the second half from Danielle Fleming's defense, is putting more emphasis on Padgett in the paint and not letting her just spin around defenders like that was her go-to in the first and second quarters.
Yeah, definitely just can't let her take any comfortable shots this half, I would have to say. If she's going to get it, you got to make her earn it. Don't send her to the free throw line and contest every single shot she takes.
Columbia International has won 3 straight in this series. Milligan looking for their first win against the Rams since January of 2020. Shot left short from Trawick. And as Griffith was working up the floor, Jordan McQueen is going to pick up her second personal. One thing the Rams can't do is catch themselves in foul trouble in a close game. Hatcher, McQueen, Neat, and Thompson all have 2. Double team at midcourt. Longmire is able to dump it off, this time to Romines. 15 to shoot. Longmire driving left side. She goes off the window. Lauren Longmire with the bucket extends Milligan's lead back to 6 points.
I think you're going to see a lot more of the double team from the Rams, just maybe in hopes that it keeps the ball out, even just keeps the ball out of Padgett's hands.
Neat, the spin cycle off the mark, as Milligan will clear out the rebound in the hands of Lily Griffith. Romines back out along the left side. Looking to go inside to Padgett. That is deflected quickly by Jordan McQueen as she'll check out for Tania Heston. A much more higher sense of defensive physicality from the Rams here in the second half.
Yeah, I think at halftime they probably just emphasized a sense of urgency on the game. Just can't let them get too far ahead because we can score with anybody. Just keeping them close is going to be huge later on in this game.
Griffith's layup's off the mark. Second chance effort's not there as Zion Neat will bring down her 6th rebound of the evening. Watkins, a strong drive, for Kanaya Watkins. Her second bucket of the night. Rams back within 4. Milligan 54, Columbia International 50. One of the most exciting games we've seen this year inside the Moore Fitness Center. Right side three from Larkin. Off the mark. Second chance points off the offensive rebound. There for Kayla Romines.
You've seen today Milligan grabbing a bunch of offensive rebounds and getting easy layups, probably about 10 points worth. So interested to see how Danielle Fleming corrects that as the game goes on.
Hatcher's three-pointer will rattle in. Somehow that basketball kissed each end of the rim and fell through for Madison Hatcher. She has 8. In the corner, double team results in the jump ball, and possession arrow points the way of Columbia International. 6:17 left here in the third. Howard replaces Kanaya Watkins. Meanwhile, both Griffith and Larkin step aside for Milligan, with Runnels and Stacia Wilson seeing their first minutes here in the second half. 3-point game in Columbia. Here in the third quarter. Heston getting the play call in. Rams looking to claim back the lead. They lost just before halftime. Here's Neat driving, strong right hand. Too strong, in fact, off the high backboard. Runnels on the other end. Pull-up jumper. Got it. Maddie Runnels with the bucket. She now has 12, and Milligan leads by 5. Heston driving, looking for the contact. She finds it as Maddie Runnels is going to pick up her third personal now. That's a big-time key factor for Milligan, one of those key pieces off the bench for Greer's squad. Heston at the line for 2. First one will pinball in. Nia Heston, 4 of 7 from the stripe here tonight, an 83% shooter this season coming into this evening's ball game. 1 for 2 on that trip, but it would have been waved off either way with Heston leaving the line too early. The lane violation on the point guard. Paget exits the ball game, still looking for her first points here in the second half after having 22 across the first 2 quarters. She heads to the sidelines with Larkin now in her place up the right side of the floor. The pass to Runnels is behind her and through her hands, out of bounds, as it'll be Rams basketball. Columbia International doing what they need to do thus far to stay in this game. They've shut down Haley Runnels. They've shut down Haley Paget thus far, which has proved huge dividends. Now here's Heston once again looking to find contact on the interior and get to the line. She doesn't get the whistle that time.
Absolutely. Heston does such a good job in getting paint touches, getting down low and getting fouled, and that's why you see her get to take so many free throws. And it's obvious she knows, and she works on her craft down there. That's why she's an 83% free throw shooter.
Neat from the low post, you betcha. Zion Neat now with 22 points. Makes this a 2-point ball game here in Columbia. The Rams can force a stop and find a bucket on the other end. Will be tied up. Look at this defensive physicality brought right now. You can feel the intensity from Danielle Fleming's squad. Left side 3 from Romines. Goodbye intensity. That's how you take back the momentum.
That is exactly how you silence a crowd really fast.
And the Rams, the turnover as Hatcher bobbles the transfer. Here on the other end, Romines goes into the corner. Runnels look to drive baseline. And now Milligan will bring it back out at the perimeter. The lead back to 5 for the Buffaloes. 3-point from Romines off the mark. The offensive board would have been there had Lauren Longmire not stepped out of bounds. Jordan McQueen back to the floor for Madison Hatcher. Meanwhile, Milligan has one substitution as well, as Romines will head to the sidelines. Lily Griffith will take her place. 4:16 left here in the third. Columbia International down by 5 points, and now for the first time since the first quarter, we see Zani Thompson step onto the floor for Columbia International in place of Trawick. Thompson, 2 fouls early on. She can be a key contributor for this squad. if she can stay out of foul trouble here in the second half.
Absolutely, I agree with you. I think Thompson brings an athletic presence down low. An exciting player we're going to get to watch grow here at CIU. Coach Fleming bringing in a good recruiting class. It's exciting to see players like that come to CIU.
The turnaround jumper on the other end, a nice shot for Neat as the Rams force a turnover defensively on the opposite end. Back within 3. Columbia International staying within 1 possession of Milligan. And Zion Neat needs just 3 points to tie her career high set a year ago. Neat working from the elbow, backing down her defender, shot in the air off the mark, but she'll get 2 at the stripe. Lauren Longmire, the guilty party. That'll be her second personal, 3rd team foul for Milligan. As Taylor Carter sees her first minutes here in the second half with Longmire heading to the bench. 3:38 left here in the third quarter. Zion Neat at the line. 63% shooter coming into this evening. She's 4 for 4 from the charity stripe tonight. Mark that 5 for 5. Rams within 2. With this free throw, Zion Neat can make this a 1-point ball game. The sophomore does just that. 3:38 here in the third. A 1-point game in Columbia. Milligan 61, Columbia International 60. Up the left side, now back middle of the floor for Larkin. Rams starting to apply a little bit more of that full court pressure. Griffith able to somehow work out of the double team, but gives back to Larkin. 10 to shoot for Milligan. Wilson driving baseline, sidesteps her defender. The layup's not there. Runnels the offensive board. Jump ball whistle will stay with Milligan. Just a hair over 3 minutes left here in the third. More and more fans continuing to file into the Moore Fitness Center here. And boy, are they getting their money's worth for their tickets tonight. Columbia International looking to battle back. 3-pointer off the mark. It nearly went out of bounds on Milligan, but the quick toss-back play from Griffith goes off the leg of McQueen, and it'll stay Buffalo's possession. Meanwhile, they have 9 seconds on the shot clock. Now referees will conversate, I believe, once again about the shot clock here. Could we potentially see a change?
Don't think possession ever changed, so it should stay at 9.
If possession did change and Milligan got it back, it would, of course, go to 20 seconds, but the only quote-unquote change in possession would have been touching McQueen, then going out of bounds. I believe referees are conversating, is that enough to constitute with her technically having the last touch out of bounds? Does it reset? And now we're going to have a full conference of the referees, but we'll stay at 9 seconds indeed.
Okay. Seems they got that one right. I agree with that call.
Milligan looking to protect a 1-point lead, but here's Heston on the other end, and she gives Columbia International back the lead. Rams up 62-61. Milligan scoreless the last 2 minutes. They've had 4 consecutive turnovers. And now make it 5. Heston the steal. Up the floor to McQueen. But Howard bobbled the transfer. It'll go back out to Heston from downtown. She got it.
Big time possession right there for the Rams.
Hello, momentum train. 2:20 here in the third. Milligan looking to respond. Is Taylor Carter's three-pointer not there? Columbia International up by 4. Part of a 9-0 run, and Howard had a wide open lane, but she cannot connect. A frustration foul on the rebound for Quanika Howard. That'll be her first, the Rams' first team foul here in the third. Lily Griffith heading the sidelines with Kayla Romines back onto the floor for Milligan. Meanwhile, Zion Neat checks out for Madison Hatcher. Neat exits with 26 points, just one shy of her career high.
One thing that's benefited the Rams this year is the depth they have. Running this full court press, being able to bring in fresh legs every couple minutes has definitely helped them out, especially in this game.
Carter trapped in the corner. Whistles blow as she stepped out of bounds. Now 6 consecutive turnovers for Milligan as they have yet to score a point in the last 3 minutes. Carter and Wilson step aside with Paget and Longmire back onto the floor. Haley Paget led all scores with 22 at the break. Meanwhile, she's been held scoreless thus far here in the third quarter. Rams up by 4, and that's a big reason why. 1:40 left here in the third quarter. Howard looking to work around a pair of screens. 9 to shoot, but one of those screens will be illegal. Zani Thompson will pick up her 3rd personal foul. That is critical for the Rams. You don't want your post players to get into foul trouble, especially in a close game.
Yeah, agreed, especially Zani Thompson with Coach Fleming telling us apparently Treywick feeling a little under the weather. So you're hoping you can get some minutes out of Thompson in the second half.
Make it 7 turnovers in a row. Heston to the corner, back out to Hatcher from 3, off the mark. Paget with the rebound. That's her 7th of the night. But the Rams are able to recover as Howard will strip it. Coming up on 60 seconds left in the third quarter. Heston back to Thompson from the paint with the touch. 67-61, Columbia International up. Milligan breaks the full court pressure. Paget into the corner to Runnels. 46 seconds left here in the quarter. 12 to shoot for Milligan. The Moore Fitness Center coming alive. Underneath the Paget. Double teamed in the paint. Somehow she gets the shot off. And once again, the luck continues for Haley Paget. Yet another trip to the line.
Sometimes you just have days where it seems like you can't miss. Paget is definitely having one of those days today.
Paget now 10 of 15 from the floor. She leads all scorers with 24. Free throw opportunity is good to complete the three-point play. Madison Hatcher will head to the sidelines as she just picked up her 3rd personal. Ferrara on the floor. And Thompson will exit with 3 as well, with Neat back into action. 34 seconds left here in the third quarter. A 3-point game. Heston slowing down the offense. Roughly a 3-second difference between shot clock and the game clock. Heston, the Division I transfer from Oakland. Stands at the point. Neat calls it, she wants it. Back out to Howard, 5 to shoot, 3-pointer off the right side. Rebound by Runnels, and here comes the full court pressure. Runnels just lifts it in the air. Howard, a last-second shot, just short. At the end of the third, Columbia International has erased a 8-point halftime deficit to take a 3-point lead into the fourth quarter. We'll be back for more exciting action as Columbia International looks to play spoiler to Milligan's perfect 7-0 start to the AAC slate. Can they do it? We'll find out when we come back. For more Rams basketball on the CIU Sports Network. Back inside the Moore Fitness Center, and if you're looking for entertainment, check that box. If you're looking for offensive prowess, check that box. If you're looking for defensive physicality, check that one as well. We're headed to the fourth quarter. Columbia International in a close one, leading by 3.
Like you said, Kate, you've got all that going on here. I think one matchup that's going to be exciting to look at is I think Zion Neat and Haley Paget are going to be lined up against each other a good bit. You're going to have best on best, 2 of the best players in the conference going head-to-head for the half.
Neat has 26 points tonight for Columbia International. Meanwhile, Haley Paget, 1 shy of her career high as well, with 25 this evening. McQueen looking to drive. Spin move in the paint. Count it. 69-64. Rams on top by 5 as Jordan McQueen, ironically for the first time tonight, that's just her 2nd bucket but so far it's been the defense of McQueen that's been the difference maker.
Yeah, McQueen brings an athleticism and an energy to the court that most teams just don't have. An older player that has stepped up big on this younger team.
The senior leader of this group. Back into the hands of Neat. Looking to go into the post. She shot short of the paint. Instead, throws up a jumper. Off the mark, out of bounds. It'll stay Rams basketball. 19 on the shot clock. 9:29 left here in the fourth quarter.
Got to think Neat knows she's getting pretty close to a career high, so maybe that's in the back of her head, hoping she still holds her composure.
Neat just one shy of her career high set a year ago in her freshman season with 27. Tonight she has 26. Underneath to Heston, and she gets the layup to fall. That one didn't come easy, but Tania Heston now has 13 points. Transition bucket for Paget from the left side will rattle in. A new career high for Haley Paget with 27. Meanwhile, the Rams still lead by 5 with a minute gone by here in the fourth quarter. Left side three from Ferrara. Count it! Madison Ferrara with a big-time bucket. She now has 6 points, and Columbia International goes up by 8, starting to put some cushion room on that lead. But Milligan goes back in the hands of Paget. Shot from the right side, good. Somehow, Haley Paget just cannot miss tonight. She has 27 points to lead all scorers.
It's almost like Haley Paget came into this game knowing Jenkins was out, knowing she was going to have to step up.
Neat the spin move off the mark. She draws the contact from Lauren Longmire. That'll be Longmire's third personal and puts Zion Neat at the line. Get this, for the fourth time tonight, Neat a perfect 6 of 6 into this trip. Sophomore from Cedar Park, Texas. First free throw, right through the netting. With that, Neat now ties her career high at 27. Second free throw in there. And not only does she set a new career high, that's also a new CIU record with 28. 76 to 68. 8:23 left here in the fourth.
Zion Neat, definitely an intriguing player. Seeing the growth even from last year to this year, I would say one of the best in the conference both years.
Into the corner, Runnels rattling out the long two, but Paget has the board poked away from her. But Jordan McQueen whistled for the contact. It didn't look like McQueen necessarily got in on the action, more so her body was just in the mix and too much rustling around. 8:08 left here in the fourth. Haley Paget heading to the line. It'll be McQueen who has to check out now with 3 personals. Watkins returns to the floor. Paget at the line, a perfect 5 for 5 tonight. Free throw, first free throw up and good. Paget now with 30 points of Milligan's 69. Second free throw left short, her first miss from the stripe tonight, and a foul on the rebound. Kania Watkins hitting Lily Griffith in the face. Griffith kind of nursing that nose area as Watkins picks up her first personal. Just over 8 minutes left. Larkin a quick jumper. She got it. 76-71. 76-71, Rams on top by 5. 7:56 left. Heston, contested layup. Put it in the books. Tania Heston now with 15 points as Columbia International goes up by 7 once again.
Heston, one of those players that just has a natural feel for the game and a high IQ.
Steal, turnover for Kania Watkins. 3-on-3 basketball into the corner. Ferrara, pump fake, driving baseline. Layup left short, but she'll get 2 at the line here momentarily.
Don't see Ferrara on the free throw line too much, just 0 for 3 on the year. Mainly probably because she's a perimeter shooter. Loves to shoot the 3 ball.
Ferrara, the Hendersonville, Tennessee native. This game, I'm sure, feels personal for her with, of course, Milligan coming down from Tennessee. She sinks the first free throw, not only the first tonight, but Tucker, as you mentioned, her first this season. Second attempt, you betcha. The Rams, 16 of 19 from the stripe tonight. We'll talk about a key stat. That's one that will jump off the page at you.
Absolutely. When you're shooting from the free throw line like that, you're going to compete with just about anybody in the country.
The lead to 9 for Columbia International. Underneath to Paget, working on Neat. Whistles blow for a foul. Head coach Danielle Fleming was wanting a jump ball. Instead, Zion Neat will pick up her 3rd personal foul. 7:14 left to play. Neat has to exit with those 3 personals as Hannah Trawitt returns to action. Neat steps aside with 28 points tonight. Over the top to Larkin. A hand check foul, Quanika Howard, a little bit of that arm bar action as Howard pick up her 2nd personal.
I think one of the best things to remember in a 4th quarter like this where it's heated is to keep your composure. Don't play any different than you've played all game. Don't get in foul trouble late.
Romines looking to drive left side, tripped up, lost her handle, but luckily went out of bounds off of Columbia International. Milligan looking to keep their perfect start in conference play intact. A 7-0 AAC record coming into tonight, 7-3 on the year. Meanwhile, Columbia International trying to play spoiler to that, get back to 500 in the conference. You didn't have the start you wanted with early losses to Bryan and Bluefield, but you're able to battle back here and a chance to get a big-time win that could prove vital coming into the season looking at conference standings.
Yeah, though not the best conference record, I think this team does a good job of competing. No matter what, it seems to be a close game, and they seem to be going hard.
Shot off the mark and poked away. Ferrara will come away with it. Watkins driving with the right hand, layup off the mark, rebound by Runnels. But Watkins able to recover and get the steal. Second chance points now on the line for CIU. Leading by 9 on top of Milligan. Looking back, Columbia International started this game off hot, but then lost their lead in the 2nd quarter and went into the break at halftime down by 8. Now leading by 9, you make it 11. Tania Heston with the forceful lay-in as she now has 15 points for Columbia International. As she now has 17 points for Columbia International. Wilson, cross-court pass to Longmire for 3. She drains it. Lauren Longmire with 12 points for Milligan, keeping the Buffaloes in this one. Not going away quietly just yet, despite trailing by 8.
And I feel like that's been the story of the game. Neither team has just gone away. Both teams have been in positions where they could have just kind of rolled over and just let the other team take away the game.
Ferrara, pull-up 3 with the flush. 5:28 here in the 4th. 85-74. Columbia International on top. Carter brings it back up top. Has to pick up her dribble and go right side of Runnels. Underneath to Paget, who's been quiet here in the 2nd half and nearly had yet another chance at a 3-point play. Layup won't fall. Instead, she'll get 2 free throws. Columbia International's done a nice job, Tucker, here in the 2nd half. Not only picking up their offensive consistency, they've sank 5 of their last 6, but also stepping up defensively and defending Haley Paget. She went into halftime with 22 points, an incredible first half for her, limited just 8 here in the 3rd and 4th quarters.
I agree. Definitely shows a big halftime adjustment, just being probably the message from Fleming being we're not just going to let one player beat us. If they're going to do it, make someone else do it. After someone has a half like that, that's some type of urgency you have to put.
Paget sinks the first free throw. Second one now, bounces in. Haley Paget, 8 for 9 from the stripe tonight. She heads to the sidelines with Erin Larkin returning to the floor. 5:11 to play here in the 4th quarter. Columbia International up by 9, but this one is far from over. Rams shooting 50% from the field tonight compared to Milligan's 52. Neat, wide open. She didn't take the shot. Instead, she looks to drive. Pass back out to McQueen. I don't think it was intended that way. Instead, McQueen drives off the mark. Neat and McQueen both crash the offensive board themselves. Little miscommunication from Zion Neat and Jordan McQueen that results in the turnover with the travel.
That's one of the things you hate to see as a head coach, but you almost in a weird way love knowing your team's crashing boards like that this late in the game.
4:48 left here in the fourth. The mainstay, full court pressure in place for the Rams. Milligan has to turn it over. Neat in transition. In the air, layup too strong. Wilson with the rebound. Watkins with the foul from behind. That's now Kaniah Watkins' third personal. Look on the floor right now. Columbia International has 4 players out there with 3 personals each. Now Kaniah Watkins joins the company of Hatcher, McQueen, and Zion Neat. The 5th team foul here in the fourth quarter for CIU.
Yeah, not the best thing, knowing that every time any foul, Milligan's going to head to the line for a 1-and-1. So you definitely want to stay away from fouling any way, shape, or form at this point, just to not let them have easy shots to get back into this game.
Stacia Wilson, a 52% shooter on the season, 0 for 2 tonight from the stripe. First free throw in the air, too strong. Keep in mind, with them now being in the bonus, Milligan will head to the line, like Tucker said, with each incurring foul against Columbia International from here on out. Wilson sinks her first free throw of the night, make it 85-77. And with that, Wilson will head to the sidelines as Haley Padgett returns to the floor.
I think it'll be a key to not foul Haley Padgett, as good as she is from the line, knowing that she's probably going to make both.
Neat called for it from the elbow, back up top to McQueen. Rams doing everything they can to preserve a lead. They went inside to Trawick, and while the shot fell, it won't count, as Haley Padgett will pick up now her 4th personal foul. We want to talk about a critical call. That's one right there, an off-the-ball foul on Padgett. Off the reception, Neat, the quick inbound shot. She draws the contact, and Zion Neat will take her 5th trip to the free throw line here this evening.
Absolutely. A play the Rams run a decent amount. Seems to reap some type of harvest every time they run it.
Well, that's Larkin picking up her 2nd personal as Padgett exits with 4. Head coach Kylie Russell-Greer will do everything she can to keep Padgett in this game as far as eligibility goes. Neat's first free throw up and good. Now perfect 9 for 9 tonight for Zion Neat. And she leads all scorers with 29 points. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Neat's 2nd free throw rattling out. 9-point game here in Columbia. The Buffaloes break the press as Griffith holds possession along the right wing. Gives way to Larkin. 13 to shoot for Milligan. Man-to-man defense, but somehow Griffith is able to catch an open shot. Too strong, she's there for the offensive board. Now driving herself, kicking into the corner. Romines for 3. Too much under it, out of bounds. And it'll stay Milligan basketball with a fresh 20 on the shot clock. Meanwhile, timeout from Milligan. 3:46 left here in the fourth quarter. Columbia International up 86-77. Just a close game here in Columbia. We'll see if the Rams can close it out when we come back for more Rams basketball on the CIU Sports Network. Back here in Columbia, 3:46 left in the fourth quarter. CIU on top of Milligan, 86-77. This has been a come-from-behind game for CIU. Down by 8 at the halftime break. The Rams have done a nice job of battling back into this game, taking the lead, and now preserving that lead.
Couldn't say it better myself. I think the way the Rams have just constantly fought has, in a way, maybe surprised Milligan. Seeing the record, thinking they were going to get an easy win tonight, and CIU has not given up in any way, shape, or form tonight.
Columbia International just 2-5 on the regular season, 2-3 in conference play. Meanwhile, Milligan a 7-3 overall record and a perfect 7-0 in AAC play. Meanwhile, we have an offensive foul for the Rams as Kanaya Watkins picks up her 4th personal and has to step to the sidelines this time as Tania Heston will check in for her. Under 3.5 to go here in the 4th quarter. Just 9 points separate these two teams. Meanwhile, Milligan looking for their first field goal in nearly 3 minutes of action. Haley Paget dumps off left side to Larkin. Larkin looking to drive, and as she went for the transfer into the corner, it's poked out of bounds by Hatcher.
I think with Paget stepping back on, if you're Columbia International, you try to get her to foul in some way, shape, or form.
Up and over the top to Larkin. Near side to Griffith. They're looking to go inside to Paget, but Trawick battles in front of her defensively. A key matchup now at the top of the key. Griffith working around the screen, back to Larkin. 3 to shoot. Does she see the shot clock? I don't believe so. And Milligan will not get off a shot, and there are 30 seconds. Timeout. Buffaloes, just a 30-second timeout from head coach Kylie Russell-Greer. We'll keep it here. 2:55 left here in the 4th. Down by 9 points. This is a close possession game, but if you're Milligan, you cannot have opportunities wasted like that running out the shot clock.
Absolutely. I think if you're Milligan right here, I think you have to have a sense of urgency on scoring because it's obvious the CIU defense smells blood at this point. Knowing they're so close to pulling off this upset, there seems to be a lot of energy coming from the home team's bench right now.
With Haley Paget having a game-high 32 points tonight, 22 in the first half, 10 here across the 3rd and 4th quarters. If you're Columbia International here, she has 4 personal fouls. How much do you try to attack her on the interior?
Yeah, I think you go right at her right here. I think you give Trawick the ball almost immediately, seeing if you can just get even a cheap foul out of her.
Buffaloes will apply the full court pressure. Heston breaks through the double team. Now meets another one, works right around that one as well. Opposite side, Hatcher from downtown. Off the mark, rebound by Larkin. Meanwhile, Longmire's whistled for the travel. Yet another turnover for Milligan. Now their 26th turnover tonight compared to just 8 of Columbia International.
It's going to be tough to win any kind of basketball game when you turn the ball over 26 times.
Up top to Neat, inside to Heston. They go back in the corner. Heston from the perimeter, off the mark. Paget the board. Paget now with 9 rebounds, just one shy of notching a double-double. Longmire on the interior, count it and one. 2:20 left here in the 4th quarter, and Lauren Longmire has a chance at a 3-point play.
One thing to maybe think about is, even though Haley Paget's having a night, maybe these offensive turnovers are coming with a lack of leadership from J.C. Jenkins.
Longmire connects on the free throw, and good point there, Tucker. The absence of J.C. Jenkins is huge tonight. The reigning conference freshman of the year and candidate, I believe, for player of the year come the end of the season, averaging 25 a game, coming into tonight out for this evening's contest with a bone bruise. Zion Neat shows why she's one of the best sophomores in this conference, right alongside Jenkins. Neat with a game-high 32 points, a new career high for her, an electric night from the sophomore. Longmire, stop short, spin move, jump shot off the mark. Paget with her 10th rebound. That's now a double-double for her. Results in a jump ball. Possession arrow stays the way of Milligan. 1:41 left here in the 4th quarter. Rams up 89-80. Into Runnels in the corner. Runnels looking to drive baseline on Hatcher. Whistles blow as Madison Hatcher will pick up her 4th personal foul. Now, if head coach Danielle Fleming decides to leave Hatcher into this ball game, that puts both Hatcher and Jordan McQueen on the floor with 4 fouls each.
I think you take your chance with leaving Hatcher, and as good as she shoots the 3-ball, you're going to love that offensive production if you can get it.
Runnels' free throw will rattle out with Milligan now in the bonus. She gets 2. Maddie Reynolds with 12 points tonight, make it 13. 8-point game with 1.5 minutes to play in the fourth. Heston runs into traffic, and Aaron Larkin hits the deck hard. Larkin whistled for her third personal. That's now the 5th team foul for Milligan as well, so Heston will step to the line for 2. Heston 4 of 7 from the stripe tonight. A somewhat quiet 17 points for Tania Heston.
Absolutely. I feel like Tania Heston does that pretty consistently. He'll score 15 to 20, and it'll just be kind of – it's hard to be allowed 20-point score when Zion Neat goes for 30-something in a night.
Neat with 32. Heston now with 18. Second free throw too strong. Rebound by Paget. She now has 32 points and 11 rebounds for Milligan. 90 seconds left. Runnels for 3. Too strong. Rebound, Paget, give her 12 boards tonight. Back inside, she wants it. Drawing the double team, has to kick it back out. Whistles blow for a foul. This time on Tania Heston. That's just her first personal, nothing to worry about. Rams up 90 to 81 with 1:19 to play. Paget the line for 2. 8 of 9 from the stripe tonight. First one up and good. 8-point game. Paget an opportunity to make it a 7-point deficit for the Buffaloes. Free throw left short. Heston in transition. McQueen called for it along the opposite wing, but the Rams will look to play keep away as Reynolds will have to go with a quick foul. Now that's Maddie Reynolds' 4th personal. As McQueen heads to the line for 2, Hatcher steps aside with Konika Howard back onto the floor for CIU.
A high IQ move by the senior right there to not shoot that 3 wide open, but understanding the circumstances of the game to pull it and take the foul and hopefully get some easy points right here.
McQueen, free throw left short, 1 for 2 on that trip. 1:07 left here in the fourth. 91 to 82 our score. Reynolds looking to drive, but she runs into Trawick, but gets the layup to fall. Right into Heston, full court pressure applied. Can the Rams break through? McQueen leads the charge, up to Neat, they cross the timeline. How quickly does Milligan try to foul? Reynolds can't do it, she has 4, but instead she feels like she has to. Maddie Reynolds now with 5 personals, her day is done. With 45 seconds left, Maddie Reynolds exits after having 15 points today, as Lily Griffith will take her place.
Speaking of another quiet 15 points, Reynolds goes for a pretty quiet 15. Again, though, it's hard to score a loud 15 when someone on your team scores 33.
Heston first free throw up and good. 19 points tonight for her. That now matches her past game against Columbia. Mia Heston now with 20 points this evening. Timeout Milligan. 45 seconds left. A full timeout taken by the Buffaloes. We'll take it with them. Columbia International up 93 to 84, looking to close out this win and play spoiler to Milligan's perfect start in the AAC. We'll close it out in the final moments when we come back for more Rams basketball on the CIU Sports Network. Back here in Columbia, 45 seconds away are the Columbia International Rams from getting back to 500 in conference play and spoiling Milligan's 7-0 start to the AAC slate. Columbia International up 93 to 84. It's Buffaloes basketball. They're going to have to work quick offensively. Romines driving, ball's on the ground, and the Rams come away with it. McQueen trying to get a quick pass up the floor to kill more time, but Milligan forces the foul, and that puts McQueen back at the line for 2 more free throws.
with the kind of game that's been, with the game of runs kind of going on, it's very crucial to hit your free throws right here. Though there's only 36 seconds, with the game Padgett's had, you never know when she's going to score a quick 6 points.
First free throw up and good for Jordan McQueen. Now 4 of 5 tonight for the senior. 2 for 2 on that trip. Jordan McQueen with 7 points. Timeout, Milligan. 36 seconds left here in the fourth quarter. Rams up 95-84. Just a 30-second timeout, so we'll keep it here, Tucker. But just a few seconds left. One of the key facts here in tonight's game, Milligan has out-rebounded Columbia International 49-24, yet the Rams are up here late by 11. One of the difference makers, 23 made shots from the charity stripe.
I agree. I would have to even say the amount of times Milligan's turned over the ball is probably, in a way, nullifies them out-rebounding us, just basically handing us the ball over and over and over again tonight.
And that'll be a thought I'm looking forward to hearing from Danielle Fleming after the game. Her squad commits, thus far, just 8 turnovers tonight. Meanwhile, defensively, they forced 27 from Milligan. That's a new season high for the Buffaloes. Into Padgett, back up top, now in the corner. Milligan looking to score points quickly. Griffith driving. She gets the runner to fall. 27 seconds left. Shot clock has been turned off. Heston trying to avoid the foul, but Griffith will wrap her up. That's just Griffith's second personal. 23 seconds left on the game clock. 95-86 our score. It's Nia Heston stepping to the line. 7 of 11 from the stripe tonight, make it 8 of 12. Heston with 21. Second free throw rattles out, meet the offensive board. As she looked to kick it out of McQueen, Milligan comes away with a steal. Buffaloes need to start shooting threes quite quickly. Instead, Longmire will sink the long jumper. 10 seconds left. This game's all but over. Another foul here from Griffith puts McQueen back to the line on the other end. Well, Columbia International up 96-88. You can pretty much put a bow on this one, Tucker. And looking at CIU, how they've played as of late is incredible coaching from Danielle Fleming. You're down at the break by 8 points, and now here in the second half, you lead by 8. An incredible second half adjustment from the second-year head coach.
For sure. Would love to have been in the locker room to hear the speech Fleming gave them at halftime. You know, it's probably very encouraging and very fiery, knowing Coach Fleming's personality.
McQueen sinks both, makes this a 10-point game. We have a timeout on the floor by Milligan. It's a full timeout. We'll take it with them. Be back with you in 60 seconds. Columbia International on top by 10 with 9 to play. 9 seconds, that is. We'll be back to close it out on the CIU Sports Network. Nine seconds is all that remains here in Columbia. The Rams up by 10. It's Milligan basketball. They have 7 seconds to play. Left side, Griffith, pull up three-pointer. Short. Neat with the rebound, and that will do it. Columbia International celebrates as they play spoiler to Milligan's perfect start in the AAC with the loss. Milligan moves to 7-1 on the campaign, and with that last rebound, Zion Neat finishes with 10. That gives her the double-double.
Huge game from Zion Neat tonight. Great to see your sophomore leader step up and play the way in which she did. Probably throwing her name in there with being one of the best in the conference this season.
Neat, a new season high and career high. 32 points tonight for the sophomore to go along with 10 rebounds. Across the way, though, you have to look at Milligan. The story coming into tonight was the absence of J.C. Jenkins, but how Haley Padgett stepped up was remarkable. 33 points for the senior.
Simply incredible the way Haley Padgett stepped up. But you got to sit here wondering, what would the game have looked like from the turnover perspective if J.C. Jenkins did play today? Should be an exciting matchup when we travel to Milligan this season.
With the win, Columbia International improves to 3-5 on the year, 3-3 in conference play. Looking ahead, they will hit the road this coming Saturday up to Tennessee Wesleyan for a 2 o'clock tip on December the 4th. Meanwhile, Milligan will head home on December the 11th and host Point. Until next time, we thank you all for tuning in to this edition of Rams Basketball as Columbia International takes down Milligan 98-88. We'll be back momentarily with head coach Danielle Fleming and tonight's star, Zion Neat, with 32 points and 10 rebounds coming up on our post-game recap on the CIU Sports Network. Back here on the Rams postgame, Kate Crenshaw now joined by Zion Neat. Zion, 32 and 10 tonight. You got that last rebound for the double-double and celebrate with your friends. Big smile on your face. How are you feeling?
I'm so blessed, man. I have the best team in the world. Like they were willing to celebrate my victories first, and this is a huge team win for us. We needed it so bad just to bring our momentum up. So I'm just happy. That's all.
A big turnaround for your group, down 8 at halftime. What were those second half adjustments that your squad made to really get this big 10-point win over Milligan?
Play harder. That's all Coach D said. He said play harder, and we bought into that. We know how to play hard. It's just a matter of turning it on, turn it off. So we turned it on that whole second half.
You were feeling tonight. What was clicking?
I came in the gym before the game. I was just visualizing. I knew I needed a big game to turn the season around. So I knew I needed it. My teammates had my back the whole time.
Zion, go celebrate.
I appreciate it, man.
Rams get the win, 98-88 over Milligan. Now joined by Danielle Fleming. Coach, moments ago, you embraced Zion, said, welcome back.
You heard that?
The sophomore has a big game. Yeah. What was it like for her, 32 and 10?
Oh, my gosh. I'm so happy. She never went away, right? I don't know what she needed. But, this was great for her. She played like she'd been playing last year. I'm talking rebounding, confidence. She played with so much confidence. So this is the Zion I know. We had a joke. I sent her highlights from last year, and she said, oh, she's pretty good. You should recruit her. And I said, I did. So it was good to have her back.
Coach, you get back to 500 in conference play. Hope to start some momentum going. How can a win like this propel your group heading into the future?
Yeah, this is a good win against a good team, and they show that even missing their best player, they're still a contender. They're still a good team. So I think we had a lot of grit, especially when we were down. I really liked the moments that we were down. We weren't down, if you know what I mean. And so we kept our head, and our defense won us the game. So that's very, very good, and I'm glad that we put it out.
Coach, you get the come-from-behind win, 98-88. What type of celebration are you expecting in that locker room?
They better not put water on my hair. They better not or they're running. This is not that crazy, but I think it's going to be great. I'm going to take my jacket off, and we'll probably jump up and down a little bit, but I'm excited to celebrate with the girls.
Coach, go dance, go celebrate, and hope you stay dry.
Thank you so much. They're going to get it. They're going to get it. You mark my word.
That wraps it up for us here tonight. Women's basketball in action tonight, taking down Milligan 98-88, get back to 500 in conference play, and spoils the perfect start to the season for Milligan. They now move to 7-1 in the AAC. Rams get the win behind a big performance from Zion Neat with 32 points and 10 rebounds for the sophomore, her first double-double of the season. Columbia International gets the win, 98-88. That closes us out. We'll be back with you for men's action here momentarily 4 ends basketball on the way on the CIU Sports Network.